brother Mzolisto ngizokufaka esigele. This is Jumpers Nomzolisto. This is This Day in History.
Right now, me say Rivali. I'm gonna tell you something what happened in 1929, 15th January, whereby National Party actually won and became the ruling party. Yes, South Africa, and of course their policy was to introduce some segregation laws in South Africa, and this was the birth of places like this. Lakhlala, what is was called back then apartheid, Amakhalat. If you go that way, we are Soweto, and then that is FNB, and basically the birth of Johannesburg was because of this huge mine dump whereby they discovered gold here when they took the land from black people, and then they ended up with a lot of young men having to go to Bauspanema mine because they no longer had the land, they no longer had the cows. If you remember, the Bambata Rebellion in 1906 was actually based on that. Apparently during that time there were already patches of people already living in a place called Soweto, but it was more of the farms, while the Zulus were fighting Ezanze KZN over what is called Ukanda Mpondo. Basically, Britannia wanted every black man on the land to pay £2 to live and hunt in the land or get a small patch of farming. So then that forced a lot of young black men to go and work in the farms, and this was the first time ever in the history of Africans, both the nomads and the hunter-gatherers and the farmers, whereby a black woman would go to sleep alone for like a year because men had to migrate to Ejawubeki. Cecil John Rhodes had built a lot of these railway tracks trying to get people from Mozambique and Zimbabwe, but then called Rhodesia, to come and work in the mines because all of those were basically British colonies. So basically, while all of that was happening, Amapune, South Africa were passing what is called segregation laws. Indians must live in one place, the blacks must live in one place, the coloureds must live in one place, and then these places were born. Basically, mostly Soweto, because they were all built basically by the same company, and some of the money apparently came from the Oppenheimers because they needed people to come and work in the mines. So if you're gonna have people come work in the mines, then you're gonna have to accommodate them. As a result, people are uneducated here. There's a lot of broken families, there's a lot of alcohol, but all of these things were designed and built by apartheid, and maybe back then our forefathers did not know exactly where they were going. Most of them were actually educated through psychology. They also studied with Karl Marx, so they knew about things about Taoism, how to divide people, about their cranium and their mandibles and stuff. And then we ended up with a situation whereby we have a lot of broken black and colored sick families, social. So when you look into a vision, segregation laws whereby the coloureds were supposed to live alone, Nabodak and live alone, Namandia live alone. The promise of our democracy is that people would be integrated, and then this thing called the generation gap between Umama Lona and these guys behind me would actually be breached. But the evils of apartheid are still lingering on, and my people are still using public transport to commute wherever they go, and they still live very much in the places that they were born in. I look around here, many of the forums haven't changed so much, which of course says a lot about our distribution of wealth and where my people should be and where my people still are. So you have an unbelievable number of unemployed people kule country lena. It's the same thing that you see also when you go to places that Martin Luther King used to go to, like Abu Harlem, and it's just jumped a couple of generations. That's why I can sit here during the week with young men abangena msebenzi, noma Grizong and Aspani as well. So the evils of apartheid linger on, and they're still touching families, and now that we have kids, they're also reaching out and touching our kids as well. And then later on, through democracy and the promise that South Africa would be integrated into the world, we won the World Cup, which is why you have that big bowl over there, Ukamba Loliana, which is I think it was called the FNB Stadium formerly, because maybe it might have been funded by them. And this is where the opening a World Cup was actually hosted in South Africa, where the entire world came and congregated in South Africa, which of course sets our World Cup as the safest and most productive in the world, most colorful, which made 7 times the profit before the kick-off. So much so that Brazil had to ask South Africa to come and aid them with their World Cup because they'd seen the miracles that we did. So amidst all the nonsense that is happening in these neighborhoods that I'm showing you, we have pulled out an amazing feat of engineering, management, and managing the whole world into one country must host a World Cup, which was the first time. And this is one thing that hopefully makes Ubaba Mandela rest in peace, because he actually saw it.
This is Jumpers Nomzolisto. This is This Day in History.
Only on Massive Metro.